back, guys, to another awesome video here at Hostways Exotics. Today we're going to be touring a special facility called the Georgia Southern Wildlife Center. Here at this facility, they like to rehabilitate injured birds, and these specialize in birds of prey, so we get to see some pretty awesome things. And they got a pretty awesome reptile section, which you know we're all about. So here, guys, we have the pygmy rattlesnake. So as you know, I have one of these at my house, but I have the Carolina pygmy rattlesnake, and mine is a little bit more of a red color, but awesome species nonetheless. And next up, we have the eastern rat snake. This is a yellow rat snake. As you can see, he's kind of got his head stuck back in here. He's kind of peering out. I don't really recommend the aspen bed that they got all these animals on, but you know, they seem to be doing well. I mean, with all their snakes. But, you know, here we have a cottonmouth, the Kistrodon piscivorus. You know, our guy's got one of these. Raised him up since he was a baby. Pretty awesome snake. Theirs is kind of, you know, doing his thing in the back. Next up, we got some baby alligators. These are a pretty awesome species to have, but they do get a relatively large size, so they're kind of hard to keep and maintain. So unless you have a facility to accommodate these guys, you never really know. So maybe it's something we can have in the future. I do really like them though. But they have some pretty awesome taxidermy over here with the foxes, and we got the awesome possum and a couple other wolves and other things. And I really like how they have things kind of snuck in there, so if you're walking around, you kind of catch a side glimpse. I don't know if you've seen that little copperhead down there at the bottom, but we'll pan down and, you know, check it on out. This is another species that I have currently at my house that actually had babies. And then we have one more, the timber rattlesnake. And this is the next species on my list, and they have one here. So I'm lucky enough to get a chance to come take a look at them and see. They're awesome species of rattlesnake, and I can't wait to add one to my collection. So along the top here, we have some pretty awesome birds. We got a beehive or a wasp hive of some sort. We got an owl and a lot of really cool plants. Maybe those are willows, maybe, possibly. But nonetheless, let's move on to the next section of the Wildlife Center. This is an invasive species wall where it talks about tegu lizards and other species like the Burmese python that's invasive to Florida, and it's something that is in high regard as of right now of trying to save the ecosystem down there, along with these toxic toads and lionfish and a whole bunch of other species. But the pride and joy of the Wildlife Center here is one of my favorite animals, the Python bivitatus, the Burmese python. And we are going to show you guys a awesome specimen of a Burmese python, a wild type coloration. So this is it, the snake we've been waiting for. You can tell by the super thick patterns. It's super pixelated when you get up close, which is something I wouldn't really imagine getting to see the snake in person. It really doesn't even really look real, to be honest. Like, you know, until it starts to move and you're like, oh man, this really is a snake. But who knew snakes can really get this big? Because Burmese python is the second or third largest snake in the world, next to like your reticulated pythons and anacondas, I believe. And then, you know, you got boa constrictors, but these are definitely one of your larger constrictors here. And next, we got a little aquarium that's right behind the snake tank where they have a couple different species of awesome saltwater fish, I believe, because you've got a clownfish, so I know that definitely lives in the ocean. But I don't know what some of these other types are. Comment down below if you guys know what these fish are. I'm sure everybody would love to know. Alright, next up, we have a giant bird's nest. So this is the nest of a bald eagle that the Wildlife Center here has made to try to accommodate some of the injured birds that they care for here. So this is the largest nest of any nesting bird in the world, and that belongs to the bald eagle. But there's plenty of other things we can see out here in this majestic scenery of this outdoor wildlife center they have here. So make sure you stop on by and check it on out. So next up we have the barn owl. And obviously they live in a barn and they like, a little bit of darkness just like any other owl because they're nocturnal predators. But this is one of my favorite species of owl. They have a real flat face, kind of a real kind of weird looking eyes and all that kind of just stare at you, but pretty cool owls in my opinion. Next up, we got a red-tailed hawk. So a red-tailed hawk is a bird of prey that breeds throughout most of North America, from the interior of Alaska and northern Canada to as far south as Panama and the West Indies. And they're one of the most common species in their little group. But over here, we have a bald eagle, man. He is a pretty awesome bird. As you know, they're our national symbol in North America, in the U.S. of A, baby. But you can tell he's missing one of his wings, so he can't really live out in the wild. He has to kind of live on the ground, so he's a ground bird now. But he's still living his best life doing his thing, so you can't really blame him in that note. But pretty awesome birds. Just look how majestic he looks and how big he is. Like, he's just kind of walking around doing his thing. Like, you see how fast he is, even though he only has one wing. Like, he can still glide pretty far, and do his thing. Here we have some aquatic turtle shells. So I believe one of these is a snapping turtle. Then we may have like some other turtles like red sliders or yellow belly sliders or something like that as well. Next up, we got another owl. This is the great horned owl, and they're pretty common across North America as well. But they are a beautiful species of owl with some awesome tufts for ears up there. As you can see, this guy's beautiful demeanor here. Too bad I can't really get too much of a good close up with him. I gotta get a little bit better zoom lens so we can get some better shots of these animals. We're definitely gonna be coming back to this area to come check it on out. They do have a couple other little things that I didn't actually show you. I forgot about that. Like the screech owls, I believe they have some of those. All right, so we're moving on into the wetland preserve, and we're gonna get around here where you guys can see everything. It's pretty awesome looking at all the cool birds that's everywhere. They got binoculars, they got everything. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
So let's flip you guys around. We just see what's going on here. So they got all types of birds, northern pintails, hooded mergansers, common golden eyes, and they have a net above here so that way they can keep all the animals in safe and in check. Awesome pond feature. So we take you guys along the side. Let shit go. I thought they had more stuff out here. Where's the rest of the animals? They're on the other side. There you go. There's beautiful duck.
They all get along, but they all kind of hang
It's pretty wild one. It's got red eyes.